You know I love to do it. So let's talk a little bit about PTCG Live. Set dropped, and like this was actually one of the things that I brought up like as one of my initial fears with PTCG Live after the first set dropped after the beta came out was it kind of seems like they're gonna enter an infinite loop where new set drops, a bunch of bugs happen with the new set cards, with cards in general. They don't all get fixed before the new set drops. New set drops, a bunch of new bugs are introduced. They start working on fixing the bugs. They don't fix them all before the new set drops. New set drops, repeats. And the game will never be at a state where it feels like it's a functioning game. It will be in an infinite loop of new set comes out, bunch of new bugs. Before all the bugs get fixed, new set drops, repeat. And there's still bugs in the game that have been around for super long now. Like, is the Genesect bug fixed? Or the Metal Pokemon bug fixed with the audio? No, the Guardy bugs haven't been fixed. And with this most recent update, at first it was Spiritomb, but now it's not just Spiritomb. Now it's not just Spiritomb, but Spiritomb, which is a new card from the new set. Tinglu, new card from the new set. Klefki, card from the, not the newest set, but a recent set. Gorebyce, Empoleon V, and Aerodactyl V-Star are all disabled in live right now. All of them are disabled. The biggest ones that this is unfortunate for is like Spiritomb and Tinglu. Tinglu is not like a broken new deck, but it's new, so that sucks. And Spiritomb is definitely a card that people are going to be wanting to test out and play as an answer or as a counter to Mew in their decks, but now you just can't because, well, it's disabled. I think Spiritomb got undisabled today. Oh no, it was Penny that got undisabled, right? So Spiritomb is still disabled. So all these cards are disabled. Also Klefki. Klefki is like a relevant card to be testing or playing with in the current format. Also, Klefki's like another big one, I guess. So this is like, it just feels like we're in an infinite loop. And who knows when this is all going to get fixed and these things are going to be able to be played with. It's just like super frustrating. Like, it feels like we're never in a state where the game feels like you can just get on, play for like 3 or 4 hours. Especially for me, who's someone who wants to stream PTCG Live. Like, I want to be streaming PTCG Live. I want to be able to get on PTCG Live and stream it for like 6 hours, playing it, and not run into like a bug every 5 games, right? Because even every 5 games is like a ton. That's a lot, and that completely ruins the experience of wanting to actually get on it and play on PTCG Live. I would say 1 in 5 games is maybe reasonable right now. Like, how often do bugs come up? It's been more recently since the new set drop. Maybe it's like 1 in 6, 1 in 7, but even that is way too many. Even 1 in 10 is way too many bugs to hit. And when you hit it, it just makes you not want to continue playing the game, especially with the reputation that the game has right now. So yeah, it just really sucks. So that's like all of that. And they actually came out with a post here. I think this was today, right? June 16th. Yeah, so when is the, what time was this posted on? Just give it time. It only has a date. It only has a date. Actually, I kind of want to look at some of the comments on, I guess it was on this. No, I want to look at some of the comments on, let's see, was it under news and announcements? Let's see, yeah. So I'm curious as to what people, so this was like the most recent big update that dropped on June 6th, before or about the same time PTCGO shut down and PTCG Live was basically took over and Paldea Evolve dropped. Oh, there's no comments on this thing. Where was I looking for comments? I was looking for comments on something. Maybe it was on this one, actually. So this post came out today regarding recent card bans and upcoming hotfixes today. Hello, we want to share some important updates regarding our game that will impact your gameplay experience this weekend and in the upcoming weeks. The removal of Spiritomb and Penny from the game resulted in a cascade of other reported issues with similar interactions. Now, did removing Spiritomb and Penny cause these problems, or did people go out to seek these problems or seek these bugs because of Penny and Spiritomb's interactions? Or when these cards got removed, did these problems become a factor? Weeks is not a good word to use. Yeah, that will impact your gameplay experience this weekend and in upcoming weeks. Yeah, like, so is it gonna be like 2 or 3 weeks before this stuff gets fixed? That's what I'm saying. It's just like an infinite cycle of there's always gonna be bugs in the game because they are unable to fix the bugs before the new set drops, and the new set dropping always comes with new bugs. Like, they're just not able to drop a clean set like ever so far. So I don't know. Maybe we'll just realize the bug and start finding all the ways to abuse it at once. Yeah, I guess. Cascade of other reported issues with similar interactions. This helps us identify more of these cards, and we've decided that with the significant disruption to the overall game, we should temporarily ban cards more likely to be used in the standard format. We understand that the decision will disappoint those who utilize these cards, but it is a necessary step to uphold the integrity of the game. I guess, sure. The team is working on a hotfix plan to release next week. I guess it is Friday, so maybe it'd be hard for them to get it done. But this is where TPCi should step up. This is where TPCi should step up and be like, all right, you know, Tim and crew or whoever programs the freaking game, we're going to pay you, you know, we're going to pay you 100,000, like, not 100,000. Give me some number. What's a high number? What would you get paid in this scenario to have people come in on the weekend to fix this stuff? $100,000, 100,000 came to my mind. That's probably way too much. Like what? $1,000 each to come to the office on Saturday or something? That's where you just like step up and you're just like, all right, come to the office, put in the extra time, here's 10K each or whatever, fix the issues, get it done by Sunday or the end of day or whatever. Like what would someone like Blizzard pay people to come in on Saturday if it's usually their day off to like be like, oh shoot, this thing's messed up, all right, we gotta need people to come in and fix this, right? Like obviously it has to be like it's their day off or whatever, so not even 10K is enough, bro. People are coming in for 10K. Amazon would pay about 2K on a weekend on severe issues, like for an individual person, right? Not for, well, yeah, it would have to be an individual person. Whatever, some amount of money, just like, all right, things messed up. TPCi is like, all right, take this money, come in on the weekend, fix this stuff. You don't wait till next week. Who knows when this is gonna be next week? So they're probably not doing anything today, which means they're probably coming in Monday, identifying the issues / working on them, maybe even working on them Tuesday. So this stuff might not get fixed until like Wednesday or like end of week. But they also had on-call engineers, and it was part of their job, and didn't get that bonus. Yeah, there's probably no on-call engineers at TPCi. This upcoming update addresses bugs with Gardevoir EX. Finally, wait, is this even gonna like? So this is the fix, right? Sheesh, man! Finally, it has taken. How long has Gardevoir been bugged for? Since Scarlet and Violet came out, right? That's what I'm saying. If there's like a bug. If there's a major bug every set with like reasonably popular cards in the meta, and it takes them until the next set or after the next set to fix it, that's just ridiculous. Like Gardevoir has been bugged since Scarlet and Violet dropped. So if we had anything come up with that with like this, I don't know, the Spiritomb and stuff, and they don't fix this Spiritomb stuff until after the next set, it's just absurd. And then the next set is going to bring another bug that does the exact same thing. And even if they shorten this time frame by a lot, like even like 2 weeks to fix Gardevoir after release is too long. Like that's too long. Like even if Scarlet and Violet dropped, Guardy had the bugs that it had, and it took them 2 weeks to fix it, that's still way too long. That is still way too long in today's in the current day and age of I don't know, card game clients. Fix Guardy, Temple of Sinnoh, and Reversal Energy. I don't know how Reversal Energy is bugged, but apparently it is. However, this hotfix may only resolve some reported issues that we've received recently. That's also just like ridiculous. Like, fix them all. What are we doing? With that in mind, the team is actively developing an extra hotfix specifically aimed at resolving the issues responsible for temporarily removing cards from the game. This update is a priority that we're working to get out as soon as possible. We'll provide more details here on the timing once we verified a fix and plan to implement it. Thank you to the community for your patience while this gets resolved. I don't know. Not really saying much here. The team is actively developing an extra hotfix specifically aimed at resolving the issues responsible for temporarily removing cards. The issues responsible for what does that mean? That there's a problem when they temporarily remove cards? Shouldn't that have been something in place, like at the groundwork level of the game, where it's like they should make a way to like safely not, or to remove a card from the game like very easily, just be able to like flip a switch that turns a card off and on. It's functionality in the game, right? Shouldn't that be like something that you can like literally flip a switch with? Shouldn't that be something built into the game on like the baseline, so when problems come up with cards, you can just turn a card off and then no one can use it? Are they saying that they have a problem with that? Is they saying there's a problem with them removing cards from the game? That's what it sounds like, right? Is actively developing an extra hotfix specifically aimed at resolving the issues responsible for temporarily removing many cards from the game. That's basically what it's saying, right? So are all of the cards intertwined in a way where it's like a card copies how another card functions to an extent, So as long as that card is, if that card is removed from the game, it removes the possibility of other cards from the game. Like, it doesn't even make any sense to me. I don't know how this stuff works, but I feel like at a base level, to help fix bugs, and when stuff has bugs or issues, like a base level, you should have like a switch in there to like turn every card off and on whenever you need to. If something doesn't work properly, you can just turn a card off, fix it, and then turn it back on. But it seems like that's not something, and this is just like a weird statement to me. I don't actually know what this actually means, to be honest. Hotfix is not a hotfix because it's taking a week to fix. I mean, a hotfix, like if you like framed it proper, like against, like for Pokemon, for TPCi's time frame with PTCG Live, them calling a week a hotfix is like reasonable. Like when you like time frame it with how long everything else takes for them. Yeah, when you time frame it with how long everything else takes for them, this is actually a week's amount of time is actually kind of like a hotfix, to be honest. As someone who worked on a dev team for a large client application, this is an embarrassment. Yeah, it definitely is a major embarrassment, that is for sure. TPS should just shut down the servers for 24 to 48 hours and get as many devs as it takes to fix it all in one go. They have the means, but they seem to not care about their online. I kind of agree with that, Dream. That's kind of like what I was saying. Just like pay a bunch of people to come in this weekend, get them to fix it. Just be like, here's money, fix the thing. Because like no one, like how many people actually want to play the game when you're not actually playing in like the real PokemonTCG meta, or you can't play all the cards or decks that you want to play because so many stuff is like banned or bugged. Like at that point, who cares? Just shut it down. Like you're not losing, you're probably losing more of a player base by keeping PTCG live and people actually interacting with the game and running into all the bugs instead of just shutting it down for until maybe Monday. Who knows? Bring a bunch of devs in on the weekend, give them pay them, and then have them just like grind it out and fix this, and then it goes live again on Monday. Like I feel like you're not losing player base by doing that. If anything, you probably lose more player base by people just interacting with the game in a very unenjoyable manner, just not wanting to come back. So yeah, I feel like it'd be neutral if not positive to just kind of shut everything down for a little while. Yeah. Bro, everyone who has to work on this probably hates it enough that they don't even want to do any of this. Bro, that has to be a case. Like I was thinking about that actually as well. Like between community feedback, and I try to not personally shit on the devs specifically. I think some things are definitely the devs' fault in all of this. There's no way the devs have zero fault in all this. But a lot of it is just the higher ups in either not hiring the correct people or not hiring enough people. So a lot of it's on TPCi to not hire the correct people or enough people. But as the devs, it does have to feel pretty shitty, to be honest, because you got the community, all the big content creators in the space literally shitting on the product and talking about how trash it is. And then the product is also bad. You're also just not creating a good product. Like, I don't know. Like, you're also just not creating a good product. So it has to feel bad. And like I said, I try to avoid shitting on the devs as much as possible. I definitely think there has to be some part of this that's like the devs' fault, especially like from a creative and artistic standpoint. Like a lot of that is just, and like all the and a big thing of it also would be how everything feels so unintuitive. Like that's on the devs for sure, right? Some of that has to be on the devs, like, right? There's definitely some, but also it just goes back to TPCi for not hiring enough people or the right people, or not firing the wrong people and then trying to find the right people. So it all comes back to TPCi at the end of the day, but pretty bad. Yeah, it has to feel pretty, it does have to feel pretty bad to be working on this still, to be honest, because it feels like an endless cycle, right? Like it can't be a very rewarding job to go in every day, work on this thing, and then have it kind of be the exact same thing every single time. And every time a new set comes out, there's a ton of bugs. You're playing catch up with the bugs. A new set comes out before you fix all the bugs with the major cards in the set. There's been bugs since day one beta still, right? Like the Genesect, like absolutely embarrassing. Quite the shit show. Yes, the cards' actions are built into functions, and cards with similar actions share the same functions. The programming concept is dry. Don't repeat yourself. It's good programming practice, but the problem is that I thought you were telling me to not repeat myself, but that's dry. It's good programming practice, but the problem is that there is so many different effects that doing it that way cause so many issues if you don't understand how every card interacts with each other, which requires extensive documentation and testing. Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it sounds mostly like it's an because like they have like no beta testing. It sounds like in office, like nothing is being tested in office. So it sounds like a massive understaffed situation. Yeah, in reality, it's probably devs and QA and project management and deadlines and so on. Yeah, it's probably just a mix of everything, right? Like everything is just a cluster. They should honestly give. They should have. I mean, I don't know how many. Is there enough people that play PTCG Live to do this? But like in League of Legends and stuff, there's beta servers and stuff, and people go and play the betas and stuff, like on the beta server. So you play with like stuff ahead of time. I don't even know if that's like a reasonable thing to do in Pokemon though, or something that they would want you to do. I don't know. That'd be interesting. I don't know. I wouldn't want to do it personally either though. I never like playing on the beta servers on League of Legends or anything personally. Because if you're just gonna run into like a bunch of bugs and stuff, like I'm not someone who wants to go out of my way to like find bugs. Although that could be like an entertaining stream now and then. Like the new set is coming out in like a week or 2 weeks, and you're allowed to get on like the beta build of the game. Or not beta. What is it called? Is it called beta? Yeah, the beta build of the game with like the new set like a week or 2 weeks before it comes out on PTCG Live, the full version, and you just go on there and just like try and find bugs. That could be cool. So maybe they should do something like that. I don't know if like that works with the Pokemon company super well with like how they want sets to be released though, because then it would be like theoretically people would be playing with the cards ahead of time. I don't know if that would be like an issue. Because obviously, like, I would want to, if I'm not streaming it, I wouldn't want to do it, right, personally. So, for me, that'd be my incentive, is, like, to get on the beta server, beta build. Get on the beta build, play with the new cards, try and find bugs. That could be, like, a fun, you know, couple streams leading up to the new set, but it's not something that I would want to do all the time. And definitely, if I couldn't stream it, then I definitely wouldn't want to do it. Pokemon Unite has beta servers, and people play new Pokemon before the... Okay, so, like, Unite has beta servers, okay. Yeah, they should do that. I hear Direwolf made a competent TCG client. TPCi should look into them. That'd be pretty cool. It's so crazy that we all would be we'd be so much more content and better off if they went back to PTCGO. Even though PTCGO had all of its own problems. It does make me wish that they just brought back PTCGO and then got rid of the trading system and added the credit system. That I do kind of wish that we had that, to be honest. Wait, what is this? Some actual community management? Somebody decided to do their job? I mean, is this like... I don't even think this is... I feel like this comment here is giving them way too much credit. Like, they're kind of saying something, but like, this is obviously happening. Everything they just said in here is obviously happening. It's just taking too long. I don't know. Them saying something almost feels like it's just like damage control, right? Well, extra transparency and communication. Very happy to see this. Please make it a trend. That said, please stop ignoring Expanded. You need to ban Scoop Up Net and Acerola too. Nobody cares about Expanded. But this is like, I don't know. I feel like this, I mean, it is transparency to an extent, but it's like, but it's not like everything is such a massive mess. Like this is like not, this doesn't matter. This post is just super irrelevant. If we got to the point where it was like a new set dropped, there was no current bugs in the situation, and then like someone found a bug with like a new popular card, and then they immediately made a post about it being like, yo, we're aware of this, we're working on it, hopefully to have it fixed by X time. That would be good transparency. This is just like damage control. I don't think this is good transparency at all. I think this is just literally damage control. It'd be something like that. Like, what's the next set? I don't know. Obsidian Flames, let's call it that. That's a Japanese set, but whatever. Or Pokemon 151 drops. There's a bug with the Alakazam, and it can't attack from the bench to the active. That's the only bug currently in the game for major cards or like any major interaction. And then they immediately drop a post being like, boom, we're aware of the Alakazam bug. We're working on it. Should be fixed in 24 hours or less. That would be transparency, right? This is just damage control. Thanks for the feedback, admin. What was the issue? There were some funny... I saw some funny comments. I don't know which thread it was on, but yeah, PTCG Live still a massive mess, and I don't know. There's no sign of it getting better in terms of like they are fixing things, but there's no sign in that. There's no sign of them actually catching up to a new set release, not just completely screwing everything over again. And the extra resources they're putting into PTCG Live from discontinuing support of PTCGO have not shown yet either. And they made a post about that a long time ago now, where they're like, the reason we're discontinuing PTCGO is because we want to put those resources towards PTCG Live, but we haven't seen that happen yet. Now, PTCGO did just get officially discontinued like 2 weeks ago, so maybe we still have to wait to see that actually happen. And we don't know what, in terms of resources, we don't know what they're doing. I would assume that, my assumption is like if they stop paying Direwolf they're probably just hiring more devs, right? That's probably has to be the assumption. They're not paying Direwolf anymore to make PTCGO, and that might have happened as soon or as late as the 5th. That statement was made over a month ago. Yeah, that statement was made over a month ago, at least. It might have been like 2 months, maybe even more, where they said discontinuing PTCGO so we can devote those resources to PTCG Live, and maybe it just has started to take effect like this month. And if it has to start to take effect this month, maybe we won't see the effects of it for till next month even. But as far as this goes, as far as what we've seen, we have not seen the effects of more resources to being devoted to PTCG Live yet. So still a mess.